What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to a new Madden 20 video for you guys. Here today we're going to be going over the Superstar and X Factor abilities for defenders coming out in the beginning of Madden 20. Think we're about a month away from Madden 20 coming out, so it's getting about that time of year when the news is going to start flooding. It's pretty limited right now on the information it's giving. Some of them are straightforward, some of them aren't. So let's just get right into it and we'll go over them. So the first one for defenders is Unstoppable Force. And just actually real quick, just to let you guys know, you actually do have to complete tasks to get into the zone, and you can also be knocked out of the zone. So it's not something that they just currently have the whole game. It's only something that you get by getting into the zone, and it shows how to activate it below. So Unstoppable Force, as you can see, there's a pretty good amount of people that have this ability. Joey Bosa, DeMarcus Lawrence, Calais Campbell, Cameron Jordan, Myles Garrett, Geno Atkins, and Khalil Mack. So basically what that is, it just increases your block, shed, and win rate against one-on-one pass blocks. So basically, to activate it, all you need to do is get 1 sack, and to lose is 50 offensive yards allowed. So it's kind of, I don't want to say weird, but the 1 sack is directly correlated to, your pass rushers, where the 50 offensive yards, that's pretty much your whole defense. So I think that is a little uneven, because it's not always going to be the DN's fault if they do get 50 yards. That being said, I understand it's kind of hard to put it just against the DN. So that's going to be for that ability. That's pretty good ability. Basically, it's just going to be really good pass rushing. Hopefully it's not too overpowered at the beginning of the game. Definitely don't want to see people getting half-second sacks this year. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Next is Fearmonger. So this is J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, Fletcher Cox, and Von Miller. So these people are just people that intimidate quarterbacks with their sheer presence. Basically, that even when they're engaged with blockers, they still can apply some pressure. So the quarterbacks will have to throw under pressure when these guys are around. Once again, it's just 1 sack and 50 offensive yards allowed to lose the ability. So I actually like this one, but once again, hopefully it's not too overpowered where J.J. Watt or Aaron Donald, every time they're within a 3-yard radius, it's making the quarterback throw it in the dirt. But if you have a quarterback that has good throw under pressure, or you just roll out of the pocket, you should be fine. There's also, the next one is Shutdown. So this one is Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner, Chris Harris Jr., Byron Jones, Sherman, Ramsey, and Stephon Gilmore. So this one, what it says is they shut down defenders have the talent to erase receivers from the game. Their coverage is tighter and interceptions more frequent. So it's kind of weird that Luke Kuechly and Bobby Wagner are on this one. You would think they would have maybe like a tackling specialist type of one. But they both are really great cover linebackers. Once again, hopefully this doesn't mess up too much, but it just says that more interceptions more frequent on contested catches. So hopefully it's not too overpowered, but obviously offensive people have them too. So if you're playing, let's say, a Juju Smith who is really good with the contested catches, and you're going against a Richard Sherman who's really good against it, it should basically balance out. So I don't see it being too overpowered. To activate it, you just need to force incompletions, and how to lose it is just allowing yards. So basically just force a couple incompletions. Like I said, it's not too clear on how many you're going to have to force them to get. Hopefully that's an exact number when the game comes out. We definitely don't want it to be something that is sporadic and you don't know. You definitely want it to be exact. So hopefully they come out with that exact thing soon. So Zone Hawk is Eddie Jackson and Earl Thomas. Zone Hawk defenders, basically they just lock down the field. They have an increased rate of catch knockouts and interception while in coverage. And once again, you activate it by forcing incompletions and lose it by allowing yards. I'm guessing it's probably going to be 50 yards for that as well. For forcing incompletions, hopefully it's like a 2 or 3, maybe even a 1 or 2 would probably be perfect. You don't want to be too hard to get, but it definitely should be something that you have to get maybe in a row, maybe 2 forced incompletions in a row or something like that. Next is Reinforcement. So this is Derwin James and Harrison Smith. So these are both strong safeties that are down, that are good at getting in the box. So that's what it says. Top defenders excel in all situations when they enter the zone. That this ability increases their chance of defeating run blocks, tackling runners, and disrupting catches. So once again, these 2 safeties, they're good at coming down to the box, but also playing zone defense. So forcing incompletions or tackle for loss, and you lose it by allowing yards. So these are your strong safeties that would come down and be able to get those tackle for losses. People like Earl Thomas, they're definitely going to be back there playing the zone over top. So not a bad type of ability for them. Next is edge threat. So it says these abilities don't need to be activated and cannot be lost. The player who has them possesses these abilities no matter what happens in the game. So once again, we have the Joey Bosa, Cameron Jordan players. Defenders with this ability use dominant pass rush moves while rushing from the edge of a defense. So basically what that means is that these players have probably more pass rushing moves than they have for every other type of player. And like it said, these ones you have no matter what. So basically it's just saying these are elite pass rushers, and they'll be able to make moves that other people probably can't. Hopefully they update the list as the year goes along too, just in case new players come out that they feel like should have these moves, or players they feel like they should take them away if they're not performing to what they need to, or if they get injured or something like that. So next is finesse specialist. So Joey Bosa has faster finesse move animations during the pass rush. So once again, that's just basically going to be speed up your pass rush, which Joey Bosa should be fast at pass rush, so that's not a bad ability. Hopefully it'll be a pretty good ability to have. And once again, you don't need to do anything to activate it. It's just something he has the whole time. So DeMarcus Lawrence, Aaron Donald, and Fletcher Cox have under pressure. So this is defender with this ability can apply pressure to the quarterback from a greater distance. Okay, so this is kind of what I was talking about with having like a 3-yard pressure, being able to cause pressure still. So it looks like only 3 of those players will have that, or at least have a greater distance. So we'll see what a greater distance means when the game comes out. But it is good to know that not every player that gets into that zone will have that greater distance. So there's also Reach Elite, which is Calais Campbell, Daniel Hunter, Atkins, Khalil Mack, Kerrigan, and Chandler Jones. Defenders with this ability can reach out of engaged blocks to tackle or sack nearby ball carriers. So that's pretty cool. So that means not everyone should be able to do that. Just these elite players should be able to reach out off of blocks and still get tackles. That's one thing I always think Madden needs, just because it's more realistic. Definitely people do that in real life, but once again, it's not. You don't see Richard Sherman doing that. It's going to be these elite big guys inside, like the Geno Atkins and Ryan Kerrigans and players like that. Run stopper, Cameron Jordan, Jarrell Casey, Damon Harrison. Defenders with this ability can either shed or reach out of engaged run blocks to tackle nearby defenders. So this is kind of like a Reach Elite, except I think it's a little bit different. But they can reach out of engaged blocks. So we'll see. It says engage run block. So the one right above it, which is Reach Elite, is also during passes, where this run stopper is only going to be during the run. So we'll see how that is, but it looks like just a different version of the reach grab, or just a quick shed to tackle the nearby defender. So the strip specialist is J.J. Watt, Von Miller, Darius Leonard, and T.J. Watt. Defenders with this ability can still tackle effectively while trying to strip the football. So that basically means if you are clicking, I believe it's R1 on PS4, and I guess it would be RB on Xbox, you could still tackle effectively while stripping. So I don't know if you guys know, but a lot of times when you're in the old Maddens, when you try to strip, you're either going to get the fumble animation, or you're going to get a break tackle animation. But that means that these 4 players will be able to do both. You'll be able to tackle and maybe strip it at the same time, which will be huge. You won't have to give up as many yards to take a chance on getting that strip. So Edge Threat Elite, J.J. Watt. Defenders with this ability use dominant pass rush moves and apply significant QB pressure while rushing from the edge of the defense. So only J.J. Watt has this, so that shouldn't be too overpowered of an ability. But basically, he just is really good at pass rushing and causing pressure, which makes exact sense because it's J.J. Watt and he's a beast. Power specialist, so these defenders have the ability faster power move animations, which is Myles Garrett, Geno Atkins, and Fletcher Cox. Okay, so that's not bad. So obviously Joey Bosa had the finesse, and these guys have the power, quick power moves to get to the quarterback. Pretty straightforward. Pass rush elite, Aaron Donald. So he has the ability to use faster pass rush moves on power and finesse, it looks like. Faster pass rush moves. So it doesn't say specifically, so I believe it would be both. So he would be able to have faster finesse and power moves, which makes sense. Aaron Donald is probably the best player in the game. He's an absolute beast, so it makes sense that he should do that. Okay, so this is the tackle supreme is what I was talking about. I thought Luke Kuechly and Bobby Wagner should have. And they're added with CJ Mosley and Jadeveon Clowney. Defenders with this ability have better conservative dive tackling, are rarely faked out by ball carrier moves, and cannot be faked out when user controlled. So that's huge because, especially for Kuechly, Bobby Wagner, and Mosley, when you're talking about middle linebackers, they're probably one of the most usered cards in the game, and cannot be faked out when user controlled. So that's going to be huge at going through the hole. You don't have to worry about getting broken down. You cannot be faked out. And also, you have better chance with the conservative tackling. So if you're using conservative tackling, you pretty much are going to make every tackle. That's going to be pretty overpowered. But people like Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly, they don't miss a lot of tackles, so it does make sense. So Enforcer is the next one. Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner, Keanu Neal, Jamal Adams, Landon Collins, and Harrison Smith. What this ability does, defenders with this ability don't allow broken tackles when hit sticking ball carriers, regardless of the runner's size. So this is also huge for this. Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly, you also can hit stick without missing tackles. So not only do you have a high chance on the conservatives, you also can hit stick, power hit, and still make the tackle. So that's going to be pretty OP. Like to see how that's going to work, but the hit sticking, that's going to be pretty crazy. So next up is Unfakeable, which is Vander Esch and Derwin James. Defenders with this ability are rarely faked out by ball carrier moves and cannot be faked out when user controlled. Pretty straightforward, basically. It's almost like the Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly with the Unfakeable one up top. Is a little bit different. This ability has a little bit more to the Tackle Supreme, but Unfakeable is just like a weaker version of that. Okay, next up is Pick Artist, Kyle Fuller, Xavier Howard, Richard Sherman, Eddie Jackson, Micah Hyde, and Earl Thomas. So higher chance of uncontested interceptions, unlimited stamina on the return until using a special move or breaking a tackle. It's basically Pick Artist, but it's almost like a Pick 6 artist. Unlimited stamina on the return until using a move. So that's pretty cool. People like Earl Thomas are great after they get the pick to get a lot of yards back. So not a bad ability to have. Acrobat. Defenders with this ability will dive for increased range on pass breakups and interceptions. So Chris Harris, Denzel Ward, Byron Jones, Jalen Ramsey, Stephon Gilmore, Marshall, and Lattimore. Basically, if it looks a little bit more open, they're still able to get there and close it off. That just sounds like something they have really great closing speed, is what that seems like. So we'll see how that plays. Hopefully they're not teleporting mid-play, but it should be pretty cool. Man up. Chris Harris and Stephon Gilmore play tighter coverage and force more catch knockouts in man-to-man. Pretty straightforward. Zoned out, all of these players, Byron Jones, Sherman, Slay, Eddie Jackson, Thomas, James, and Smith. More catch knockouts and react quicker in zone coverage. Once again, makes sense. A lot of these players are zone players. Richard Sherman, if he had the man up, it wouldn't really make sense because he's really a zone corner. Players like that, so that's pretty cool. And then, of course, Jalen Ramsey, universal. It looks like that defender has the ability to play tighter coverage in both man-to-man and zone. So that makes the most sense because, once again, he's probably one of the best, if not the best, at both zone and man coverage. So it makes sense. Let me know what you guys think down below with all of these different abilities. I really like the abilities that you have to activate. I'm not sure what these ones are going to do in terms of, having people that are playing tight coverage. Does that mean basically they're just a little bit better because being a higher overall, they should already kind of be better? I don't know how much these abilities are really going to make a difference or how they're going to be scaled. It'll be interesting to see when the game does drop or if we can get some gameplay on it specifically. So like I said, leave a like on this video if you guys did enjoy it. Let me know down below which one you guys are looking forward to the most. I think the one I'm looking forward to the most would be probably the Tackle Supreme. Like I said, using Bobby Wagner is one of my favorite users in the game, and not being able to get faked out. And then he also has the hit stick one. If you add it in there, where is that hit stick one? It was somewhere. It was somewhere. I don't know where I put where the hit stick one went. Oh, it's right after it. The Enforcer. No broken tackles, a hit sticking. So not only do you have great conservative tackling, so I would put the Tackle Supreme and Enforcer together as my favorite too. I think it's going to be really cool. So let me know down below your guys' favorites. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content like this. And as always, guys, I will see you next time.